Hello, hello, hello! I'm Matthew Horkey.
And I'm Shireen Tan. Together we are
Exotic Wine Travel.
We spent the last 3 years traveling around the world writing and speaking about unique and exciting wines. Our journey has taken us to both lesser known and established wine regions.
In 2016, we came to Croatia for the first time. We fell in love with the country and the wines, prompting us to write the book Cracking Croatian Wine, a visitor-friendly guide. Now we're at it again. We're going to retour the country and bring our book to life. We aim to take you deep into the Croatian food and wine scene. So sit back, relax, and join us as we go
Cracking Croatian Wine.
When it comes to wine, Croatia is full of surprises. Most visitors head to the coast, but there are some fantastic wines to be had around Zagreb, in the region known as the Uplands. Moslavina is just east of Zagreb. It's a small rural area with undulating hills. There's a unique local white grape here known as Škrlet. Ivan Kosovec has a winery and a small 3.5 hectare plot in this area. His vineyards are certified organic, and he makes wine with as little intervention as possible. The vineyard is overlooked by a small cabin from the 1800s, and it's where Ivan crafts his wines. Although he is mostly famous for Škrlet, he also makes beautiful reds from Pinot Noir, Zweigelt, and Frankovka. His best wine, in our opinion, is his Škrlet Selekcija.
Everyone said it tastes on the nose, it resembles them of a good aged Riesling, but in the mouth it's something totally different. Probably the best wine I ever make. 6 years in a bottle now, and we just opened it and it's great. It's not slowing.
Škrlet is a grape that was made into simple white wine in the past, but Ivan and other producers in the area are trying to change its reputation.
Škrlet is an old wine. It's presumably autochthon and indigenous in Moslavina, and around 100 hectares, maybe even less. My wines are not so much of a yield. I have a lower yields. I do organic in the vineyard.
Kosovec has had some tough luck with hail on the recent vintages, but 2017 and 2018 look promising. We hope to come back and see a 2017 version of the Škrlet Selekcija.
Ciao! Do widzenia!
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Oh yeah!
It's strawberry time during the spring in this part of Croatia, so we stop for a basket on our way to LifeClass Terme Sveti Martin. It's the only 4-star hotel in the area. The property also features thermal pools, a spa, and a golf course. It conveniently sits in the heart of the Međimurje region of the Uplands. It's an area famous for aromatic white grapes.
It looks like one of those those wellness resort in Bali. I'm very excited.
The hotel also has a water park, but we don't have time to play. We're off to our first stop, the Hažić Family Winery. The farm is famous for its fresh products made from apples, including juices, cider, and dried chips. Tatiana takes us to the cooler, which reminds me of my family farm back home. She's also busy preparing batches of dried apple chips. We had some in the hotel and were immediately addicted. These are sweet, tart, and very delicious.
Even nicer than yesterday's.
Tatiana also produces several fresh white wines. Our personal favorite is her semi-sweet made from Traminer, more commonly known as Gewürztraminer.
Ne, zapaj viku tak.
Oh my goodness!
Favorite place.
We're hungry, so we head to the nearby town of Čajkovec, to the restaurant Munduoka. There's a branch in Zagreb and also one in Istria. We adore the one in Zagreb and want to give this one a chance, since the head chef Marko Palfi actually cooks here.
These are not franchises. We are not a franchise in terms because every restaurant is an entity of its own, and we modify the food and the philosophy to the place where we are. So in Zagreb you will have a strong street food menu. In Umag it's going to be, let's say, a sort of a seafood, grilled meat, summer food. And here in Čakovec, we are defined as a bistro and wine bar. We want to do bistro food, so food that is not pretentious, that it's not too complicated. Salt, pepper, a little bit of cheese, and what you have on top is a chicharron, also local producer.
A little bit of duck pate and risotto. Now Shireen is all buttered up.
This is one of my favorites. It's a pom puree just mixed with nettles puree, and then a few white asparagus.
The wine list is pretty darn good for this part of Croatia as well.
All the wines that we have were tasted and picked, so we don't have anything that's here by chance. Grilled asparagus, salt, oil, and that's it.
Beef can be generic and boring at times, but here it's prepared well.
I really like the meat. Very flavorful. I like the texture.
A little bit of dessert and we're stuffed. Is it bedtime yet?
I'm done with those plates.
The next morning we take on some fresh local products for breakfast at the hotel, such as deer sausages, paprika, infused cheese, and apple jam before heading to the spa.
Are you excited?
The spa at Sveti Martin contains 4 different types of saunas and an ice cave. The real highlight of the property is the Temple of Life. Its pools filled with naturally occurring thermal mineral waters. The complex looked modern, but the pools of thermal water have existed here for many years. The waters in the area were discovered in 1911 when a local company was drilling for oil.
How did you like your spa day and mineral water?
The next day, we head to the Zagorje area to visit one of Croatia's most awarded wineries. In Zagorje, almost everyone produces their own table wine, so when Boris Drenchki decided that he wanted to make ice and other late harvest sweet wines, everyone thought he was crazy. From these steep slopes, Boris cultivates grapes like Chardonnay, Pinot Blanc, Riesling, and Moslavina for his award-winning wines.
That's something that you fall in love with someone.
He is crazy about ice wine and sometimes waits until January to pick the grapes. His boutique winery, Bodrin, only produces sweet wine. They're packaged in small format bottles and can be found in the best restaurants throughout the country. These wines are sweet and never feel too sappy on the palate because of the bright acidity. I fell in love with Bodrin wines upon the first sip, but Shireen hasn't always been so convinced. This visit gives her a change of heart.
This is a little bit different from the rest that we tried. It's much more herbal in style. I get a sense of like ginseng, much more of the root and herb aroma. It has very full weight in the mouth and it's very tightly coined. Almost like when you're drinking it, right? You feel like a ball is rolling across your mouth, that kind of texture. And also something very interesting is it has a sense of spiciness on the finish, really subtle spiciness. So, but by the end of the finish, I get like melon, some kind of apricot kicking in. So I'm going to pair it with the rock melon to see how it tastes like.
When Boris first started, he sent his wines to Decanter, where they competed against other great predicate wines from around the world, including Austria and Germany. In 2011, he won a regional trophy in the sweet wine category. Boris makes wine part-time, and his cellar is small and humble. These wines are can't miss for visitors to Croatia with sweet teeth. Just north of Zagreb, high on the hill, is the Bulfen Winery and Guest House. It's a beautiful, quiet place overlooking the surrounding hills.
It's very cozy and warm.
On the house and all the hill.
Tomislav Bulfen has 20 hectares of vineyards, which are certified organic. He also uses biodynamic preparations in the vineyard. Bulfen was one of the first high-quality producers to emerge in the uplands after Croatian independence in the 90s. The winery has made a name for itself by producing high-quality wines at modest prices. We're especially fond of the Riesling and white blends. The sparkling wines of Bulfen are also good, in addition to Pinot Noir, which Tomislav wants to focus more on. When it comes to farming, Tomislav feels very strongly about ecological production.
I find eco way of doing agriculture the only way, which is compatible to the mankind, and I see it like a fight for the honesty, for the health, and like a political strength. I think that eco way is the only way. Otherwise, we are going to ruin the nature, and we will be in the planet just with the sand. I wanted to show myself first that it is possible, and it is possible.
The Bullfen Winery and Guesthouse also has a restaurant, with locally sourced and organic produce paired, of course, with Bullfen wines. We start out with a few soups.
I think it's a local vegetable.
Wow.
It's really good. It's really good.
Why is it good?
Shireen is crazy about French onion soup, which today the restaurant has. Next we have some veal with škrlet, a local type of pasta, in addition to roasted duck and potatoes.
Good. It tastes like ranch food. You know, something that you pick from the backyard.
Some dessert, and we are happy, well-fed, and ready for an afternoon nap. Something that shouldn't be too difficult with views like this. The Uplands is one of the upstart regions in Croatia. Some of the best values of the country come from this area. There are numerous small producers doing fantastic work here, but unfortunately our time in the area is up. Hopefully more people make the short trek up to this wonderful region and make their own discoveries.